Hello, everyone, and good morning. And as promised, here is the recorded session of our supposed collaborative instruction, which was postponed to next week because we will have the giveaway for your vaccination schedule. Ayan. So, here we go. I'm going to go on now with the slides without Ma'am Parsley and Sir Dick for today. Yan. So, we'll have creative writing. So, dahil this is an asynchronous session, ayan, still I will have to ask you, kumusta kayo? So, you may just key in to the comments section. Ayan, how are you doing today? Red if you're doing great, orange if you need help with something, yellow if you're ready to assist your schoolmates, green if you're feeling lucky, blue if you need someone to talk to, purple if you're ready to listen, brown if you're struggling with something, black if you're in a bad place right now, and white if you're healing from something. Okay, you may just key in into the comment section and how are you today because yun nga, mental health first before anything else. So, ayan, I saw this yesterday, sorry, Sunday night. I saw this Sunday night on a social media post, ayan, that I'm following. And it is said here na today you could be standing next to someone who is trying their best not to fall apart. So whatever you do today, do it with kindness in your heart. Ayan. So that's why we're always checking in on you kung kumusta kayo na despite all of the overlapping activities, ang daming events sa school, and mga concerns sa bahay, sa community, but still we have to check in on each other. Okay? So, isang malaking group hug sa ating lahat. So, we're now down at the creative writing kumustahan. Ayan, so for 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, though alam ko, syempre hindi tayo magkakasabay rin gumising, no? But you're expected to wake up, say a prayer, make your bed, eat your breakfast, organize your study area, write your to-do list for the day, prepare your learning materials, have some water and snacks beside you, and look forward to a productive learning day. Do alam ko hindi to nasunod today based on our weekly home learning plan because you have your vaccination schedule nga, no? So, previously in creative writing, ayan, we had introduction to the course plus the diagnostic test that I administered to you. I hope you get to submit it na so that I can assess what things do you need to know pa as regards the subject. Also, we learned about imagery, diction, figures of speech, and specific experiences to evoke meaningful responses, and various elements, techniques, and literary devices in specific forms of poetry. Also, ayan, we'll be delving into new lessons in creative writing this week. Ayan, and starting off with writing a short poem, applying the various elements and literary devices, exploring innovative techniques. Ano nga kaya yun? Ano yung short poem, applying the innovative techniques in creative writing. So, let's start off with the targets. So you are going to write a short poem applying the various elements and literary devices, exploring innovative techniques. Also, you are to use some of the learned elements, techniques, and literary devices. Plus, you're going to appreciate literary pieces written by local and foreign writers. So for the first task, you're expected to read the content of your SLM from pages 39 to 55 because you'll need to read the content before you get to answer the questions or to write a short poem, applying all the elements and literary devices you learned, no, as well as the literary techniques. So you are to write two poems considering the elements, literary devices, and techniques na binasa nyo presented in the module and your understanding, of course, your basic understanding or know-how of writing a poem. Next, you have here the freedom to choose and utilize any of the elements, forms, and other essential topics about poetry. Bahala kayo sa topic, bahala rin kayo sa elements that you're going to use, whichever form of poetry you like. Just be creative, excuse me, in presenting your poems. Also, you have to refer to the rubric on page 55 of your module so you know how you will be graded. Ayan, yun yung standards natin in writing a poem. Okay? Here's your activity sheet for that activity. That's a table that's divided in the middle because you'll be writing the first poem, obviously, in the first column, and then the second poem in the second column. Okay, obviously. Okay, so yeah. Next up, week 4, we are now down into the various elements, techniques, and literary devices in various modes of fiction. Now, what are those elements, techniques, and literary devices in those various modes of fiction? Ayan, you'll be knowing more about that as you read the targets here. You are to identify the various elements, techniques, and devices in various modes of fiction and appreciate some literary pieces which use various elements, techniques, and literary devices. Now we're down from poetry to fiction. Okay, so we're now delving into stories. Ayan. So for the content of the module, you have to read that the short story Broken Hope. The title is Broken Hope by Sky Robertson on pages 69 to 72. Next up, you have to identify the various elements, techniques, and literary devices used in the said literary piece. Also, you are to mention a few snippets from the story to justify your answer. Someone asked me the other day what snippets mean. Okay, so snippets means certain excerpts or short passages from the story which you're going to mention here kasi ang sabi, mention a few snippets. You may just extract some lines from the story to justify your answers. Ano, why were you able to identify that that story used that specific element, technique, and literary device? Now, you just have to mention the snippets to prove your answer and to justify bakit yun yung ginamit na element, na technique, and literary devices as you saw based on your analysis of the story Broken Hope by Sky Robertson. So this is your activity sheet for the week. Ayan. So I divided the table into 3 columns. Ayan, we have elements of poetry in the first column, followed by the literary devices or techniques in the second column, and then third column naman, figures of speech. Now, where do you write the snippets? You may just integrate the snippets as you mention the certain elements, literary devices, or figures of speech that you answered in each column. Okay, so pwede niya siya i-integrate in the answer. Okay? So, if you have any questions, you may just ask me, but let me just present then the module so that you have a look already of what it's like. Wait lang. Cannot find the creative writing here. So, let's go back to weeks 3 and 4. Yeah. Okay, so this is the introductory part of the module. Ayan, so what you need to know, we have here the objectives, and then here's a graphic organizer, a mind map specifically about your understanding what creative writing is. Ayan, here you are asked to identify your writing preferences, but hindi naman siya required, but you may read these questions and answer in your head, no? Because that will allow you to identify what kind of writer are you. Ayan. So sabi dito, when do you like to write? Where do you like to write? Do you prefer a specific place where you will just write, or can you write anywhere? Can you write um within time pressure or under time pressure? Or can you write within the freedom of your time? Can you write when being asked to, or do you only write when you are in the mood for it, diba? So these are some self-assessment questions that you have to ask yourself. Then, no, what writing tools do you need to write a document or any write-up? Do you use paper, pens, pencils, laptop, dictionary, thesaurus? Okay. Do you have any specific tool that helps you write better? What genres do you prefer to write? Are you into romance? Are you into young adult? Are you into comedy or entertainment? Are you into horror, suspense, mystery, thriller? Ganyan, ano, historical or period genres. So, how do you write your first draft? Are you a writer, isip, sulat, or are you a writer, meaning sulat lang and just go with the flow? What stages of the writing process do you use? Which are your strengths and which are your weaknesses? Ayan. So as a writer, as a creative writer, no, a budding creative writer in this field because you're taking UMS and this is one of your specialized subjects and you're expected to be good at writing, no? And that's why you have to know then as well the writing process. Ayan. So here's a graphic organizer. You can do this, but again, this is not required. Yan. Feeding time ng dogs na naman, no? Or cleaning time, whatever. So, we have here your writing preferences. Every author has a different writing preference, no? Some others want to do some outlines muna before writing the draft, before polishing the draft, and then submitting the final output. Some others do not write outlines anymore. They go directly to the final output. Some others do not write drafts anymore then, no? Apart from the outlines. So, different scholars have different styles in writing. They compose, cut, duplicate, and rearrange their work just as discard and start once more. Ayan. And actually, writing is a never-ending process. No, it's a continuous process of editing and revising and polishing, no? And I think the end point just goes when there's a deadline, no, for submission. But actually, if kaya pang ihabol, if kaya pang pagandahin, di ba? Pwede, okay? It really doesn't stop on, it's up to the writer actually, no? When he or she decides to stop. Yeah. So we have pre-writing, drafting, cooling, revising, and publishing. Cooling is like you're having a cool time or a cool off muna, no, a downtime for writing because you cannot force your brain to blurt out ideas, ayan, and to write a lot. You have to rest, no? Ayan, so yeah, pre-writing, conceptualizing, drafting, revitalizing, revising, and the last is publishing, no? Minsan nga, after publishing, pag may comments pa yan, it goes down again to revising. Yan. Before the final output is really published. Ayan. So we have here some paragraphs that you have to read about, ayan, to tell you more about each writing process. We also have here the difference between creative writing and technical writing. Ayan, you can read that. Well, we're not into technical writing right now, but what you studied nung grade 11 kayo sa reading and writing skills, that's technical writing. But here, we're specializing in creative writing. You are taking UMS, you are into the creatives, no? Meaning, yung rigid na structure ng technical writing is not present anymore in creative writing that we are studying. Creative writing is more of a free kind of writing. You're free to express yourself. You can be as imaginative. You can put as many symbols as you want for as long as it means something. You can use figures of speech and metaphor, which you cannot obviously use in technical writing, ano, because that would confuse the reader. No, iba ang technical writing, iba ang creative. Well, Our purpose naman here is to entertain, to provoke, and to captivate. Okay? Usually, ang audience ng technical writing is specific to fields, okay? Different fields. But in creative writing, you can accommodate many kinds of people from different walks of life. No, like for example, you wrote a song. That song can be consumed or can be heard, can be read, yung lyrics, no, by pretty much any kind of person in the world, ano, so long that that person relates to the song that you have just written. Also, for the style that's informal, artistic, artsy-artsy, ano, take it as parang arts when we're talking about lines. Pag technical writing is more of the straight lines or the jagged lines, no? It's direct, no? Parang these are the sharp lines that we are talking about. But if we're talking about creative writing and if we're going to compare that to lines, we can imagine scribbles, scrolls, and spirals and flowy lines, curved lines, ano, because it's more artsy than the rigid technical writing. Also, it's general and evocative of emotions, no? Colorful words are used to express what you're trying to mean and not just specialized jargon or technical stuff. Also, it's arbitrary and artistic. It changes anytime. The flow is not structured. You are free to create your own form of writing. No, when we're talking about creative writing, ano, it's more artistic and artsy, like what I'm telling you. Yeah. So you may read those paragraphs. There are also tips here provided on how to write a poem. Ayan. So you have to know first anong klase ng poem yung sinusulat because there are poems na governed by rules and there are ones that are not. Ano, merong free verse, merong rhyme verse. So you have to know that as well. We also here we also have here benefits of learning how to write a poem. Ayan, and fundamentals of how to write a poem. Aside from the benefits provided here, I can also share with you very quick lang ano, a story of a friend earning hindi naman a lot kasi hindi sobrang daming time yung inaalat niya dito but she's earning dollars from creative writing and that is one side gig that you can venture into if you're good at writing. You can get paid for writing. Ayan, pwede kang maging ghostwriter ng mga novels pero hindi magiging sa'yo yung book, no? Hindi ko sinasabi na maging ghostwriter kayo after nyo mag-take ng UMS but you can have that as a path, okay? As a path, as a side gig, gano. May main job kayo but you have this side gig and then you can earn then from writing poems, from creative writing. You can also use that to your advantage lalo na if you're into social media management or social media marketing. You can learn pretty much anything that you want to learn if you know how to write and if you're good at it. So, ayan, you can be a freelancer and earn dollars. Ayan, you can even join freelancer groups and know more and learn how to be a freelancer. Ayan, ang daming inspiring stories about freelancers that you can know about and learn about. And with that, you can start off small. Ano, hindi naman pag sinabing freelancer, bigatin ka na agad. Ano, but it's just a right mix of your time, effort, how you invest in your skills, and syempre, if you find the right clients for you. No? Aside from being a freelancer, you can also be an author. Like yung mga hinahangaan yung author sa Wattpad. And ang ating mga authors na nagsimula muna bilang self-published but then they were able to make names for themselves, no? Yan. So we also have here fundamentals for how to write a poem, select the form of your poem. Siyempre, yung forma, ano, you have to know the structure as well. So for the structure, we have different types of poems. Ito na yung sinasabi kong may konting rigidness, no? Pero still, it's only limited to form. Okay? Ano yung form? Pag sinabi natin form, structure siya. Whether that has a certain number of lines only, a certain number of syllables. Yan. So we have here a sonnet, haiku, acrostic, couplet, free verse. Okay? For punctuation, ayan, not all poetry has punctuation in them, ano, because some others observe and drama. Okay? Meaning, there's no punctuation and then the line goes over to the next line. Ano, you read a poem not stopping at the end of the line but continuously reading the words going down to the next line. Okay? We also have a sealer, which is the last word of a line. We also use imageries because we hide our intended meanings behind symbols, behind objects. Ayan, and that's what we call imagery. We also use descriptive language, no? And we trigger the senses. Those are five senses. We have taste, sound, sight, smell, and touch. So we also have sound devices and how you can express and tell your feelings through poetry. Okay, have you had the experience of being courted na you are given a poem by a person you like, diba? For girls. And if you're boys naman, have you ever tried giving a poem to a girl that you're interested in? Okay? Maybe you can try that out one time. Para ma-apply nyo lang. ma-apply nyo lang yung pinag-aaralan natin sa creative writing. No? You may do that, no? But aside from the practice, di ba, what's nice there is that you're able to express yourself, no? And that you're not hiding in a shell and you're not hiding your feelings anymore because you're able to write about it, no? So poetry is a form of storytelling. The key to writing is making the audience feel, give them something to remember and hold on to. Like ako, I would never forget that experience na a boy wrote a poem for me. Okay? And then another boy was writing little notes for me. I won't also forget that. Also, another boy, ako baka sabihin niya, daming boys si mama, no? And then another boy wrote letters for me, no? So, hindi tayo nagpapakalara Jean dito, no? Sa PS, I love you and so to all the boys of love before. But at times, girls also feel that way if they receive notes from men. So, kaya parang feeling ko mape-pressure yung boys natin in this class if they're going to write poems for the girls they like, no? So, hindi lang naman boys ang dapat nagsusulat for girls, but it can be the other way around, syempre, no? So, gender equality na tayo. Anyone can write for anyone. Ano, whatever gender that is, whatever religion are you, whatever political standpoint you are in, and whichever race you're from. No? If you're writing also, do not be so ordinary. Be unique to stand out. So it's important for you to find your style. But as beginners, dahil beginners kayo, you're not expected to have your own style na kaagad. You're expected to imitate writers that you admire, that you idolize, and from there, you'll be able to create your own identity as a writer. No? So you're not pressured right now at this stage, you're not pressured to have your own style. Eh, ano, gaya-gaya ka sa style nilang Liab, ni Don Lanuza, ni Michael Fode, ni whatever poet that you're idolizing. So again, I'm telling you, you're not pressured to have your own style, you have your own technique, but start off small by identifying which parts of their poetry or their style that you like, and from there you'll be able to start and create your own footprints, ano, and your linguistic fingerprint as a writer. So, you can also enhance your poem by using the writing cycle, avoid abstractions, because kapag super abstract, baka wala na makarelate sa poem. Pag naman masyadong literal, baka hindi na siya poem mo. Okay? So, ganun. Just the right balance between the two. Okay? So, what's more, ayan, we also have here a crossword puzzle if you want to entertain yourself, but this is not a required task and you're not allowed then to write anything on your module. So, if you want to do this task, okay, just, ano ba, take a photo of it and then just do the crossword on your phone, or you can copy the letters, no? But you're not allowed to write anything on the module. So, ayan, we have here react with the literary pieces, read and give. We have here the content of the poem Lovely by Lovely Jaime. Ito, this one is called, kalimutan ko, Blackout. Blackout Poetry. Ayan, we'll be doing this sometime, siguro mga weeks 11 or 10, ganyan. But I expect that we're doing Blackout Poetry. So we also have here another poem. You can read those, but those are not required anymore. Yan. So be inspired by reading. Ito yung medyo malapit sa task nyo. No? And then here's the poetry writing rubric for the two poems that you're going to write. Cohesiveness, use of poetic elements, rhythm, creativity. And yan. And that's it. Now we're done, okay, for the creative writing. Okay, so I hope that get to learn more about the writing process and how it can help you as students of humanities and social sciences. Ayan, because you're taking UMS and you're expected to be great at writing and to be good at writing. No? So again, you're allowed to start small and take baby steps towards your development as a writer. Hindi ko naman kayo pinipressure na kailangan good agad in writing. No? Syempre, it's a process, no? You can learn one thing at a time. Okay? So, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me, or let's have the ask them before me policy. So, quick reminders then, please send us your correct email details so you can receive invites to our future Kumustahan sessions, our school functions, and school youth formation events. Lalo ngayon, may event ngayon sa youth, no, yung uh, about sa environmental, ano ba yon? Climate change. I'm so sorry. Ayan, climate change. And then sa 25, we have the SDO Rizal Student Summit. On December 17, we have the GenLit, or the Generation Lit, para siyang digital literacy program of DepEd Rizal, and may partner na stakeholder, no? Pinas Forward PH. So, there you go. That's just a reminder for all of you. And then, kasi pag hindi namin nakuha yung email, na tamang email from you, ganito yung lalabas, no? So, nagkakaroon ng delivery status notification failure, meaning hindi nyo matatanggap yung invitation from us. So, quick reminders, again, do not submit tasks that are not part of the weekly home learning plan. As much as possible, paste your answers in the answer sheets I provided. Also, refrain from copying answers from the answer sheet found at the back of the SLM, and please do not write anything on the modules. Also, in resolving FAQs and common concerns, please observe the ask them before me policy, and that is you're going to ask 10 schoolmates first before me. Also, communicate in our chat group and never assume that there's nobody to help you as regards your concerns, because again, you're not alone, no? Don't be shy, and please expect us to be always here to talk to you, ano, and attend to your concerns. Let us know also how can we support you. Here are my communication channels where you can connect with me and contact me if you have concerns. Ayan, we also have our chat groups. Hindi na pala yan, that's for 21st century literature. But we have one then for creative writing. I hope everyone's a member already of our chat group. Also, I hope you're already a member of the Barasenyo Nation, where we post updates as regards the school concerns. And we also have the Barasenyo 21st Century Lit and Creative Writing. So, pinagsama ko na kayo sa isang group with grade 11 para hindi na doble ng posting, no? So you can just check out my posts, whether that's written for grade 11 or for grade 12. Okay? And then here in our group as well, you can find a lot of supplementary resources. Yeah, for creative writing, no? Just ignore the 21st century lit because na-take nyo naman siya last year. So that's the link and then the QR code for the group. Ayan. So sending you all our love and support and I hope you also send us your love and support then as well, no, by liking and sharing posts from our school official page, Daped Tayo Blue Rizal, Bara Senior High School, and our youth formation pages. We have Barasenya SSG and Deped Tayo Youth Formation Bara Senior High School. So, ayan, like what I announced yesterday sa grade 11, yan, today we have the SDO result webinar on youth action to combat climate change. That's for 9:30 to 12. Aabot pa kayo if you're joining right now. But if hindi na, mababalikan nyo naman siya sa Facebook page ng DepEd Tayo Youth Formation Rizal. Naka-string din siya sa DepEd Tayo Calabarzon, di ba? And then, November 25 is SDO Rizal Student Summit 2021 and December 17 is the GenLit Digital Literacy Program by Pinas Forward PH and SDO Rizal. So with that, that would be all for today. Good luck, Modular Legends, and have fun learning. You've got this, ano? Caring-caring nyo yan. It's already week 3 and 4, ano, ng ating creative writing. So, with that, have a great week and ingat kayo ngayon as you're lined up on queue for your vaccination schedule. So, always mask up, syempre stay healthy, helpful, and calm. Ayan, keep safe always. And thank you for joining us today, though it's an asynchronous session. Bye!